By the time we publish this episode, we might have to update news on my guest already. I even had to actually update my questions in the meantime. She works by leaps and bounds and superhuman strength to accomplish the impossible. It all started 4 years ago when she started her initiative that has grown into a full-fledged NGO with official headquarters in 2 countries, registered in 65 countries. Thanks to my guest, thousands of lives have been saved. Yes, thousands of lives, and thousands of people's well-being has been improved. How does she do it? Against all odds, let me tell you. Let's find out everything and more by asking 10 questions to my extraordinary guest and my extraordinary friend, Marina El Khawand. Hi, Marina.
Hello, Fatty. I'm speechless.
How long have we been talking about this? And finally, it's happening.
More than 1.5 years, 2 years, I guess, since you started the podcast.
Yes.
And you've been always telling me, Marina, we should do it. And finally, I'm happy that we're doing it now.
Yeah, because there's so much that's been happening since a year ago.
Exactly.
But let's start from the beginning, okay? Because not everybody knows exactly. I just gave ideas in the introduction. Your journey started when you were 18.
18.
We can tell your age, so it's 4 years ago.
Right. I'm 22 now.
Yeah. So tell us how everything started.
Okay, so the start was not the happiest moment for me, you know?
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't the happiest event that happened. Mm-hmm. It was the tragedy, the explosion, Beirut explosion, that ignited inside me the sense of doing something. On August 4, I had 2 options in mind. It's either I fly or I fight.
Mm-hmm.
As a youth, it's either I go away, I try to build a secure, safe future for myself, because I was at my first year at law school.
Right. So, you mean to leave the country?
Yeah, to leave the country for good.
Mm-hmm.
And just to be able to be in a secure country, I would say, in a country that I'm allowed to dream, to achieve some things, not inside Lebanon. You never know if the second day is definite or not.
Somewhere that will give you opportunities.
Absolutely.
Okay.
So what I decided to do is to fight and to stay and to take this opportunity to try to do something. Mm-hmm. And if I failed, at least I will say I did my best and I tried, you know? So it was very hard for me to actually take this into consideration with everything happening and seeing all the bad sceneries and the traumatizing
destruction.
Sceneries. Yeah. Exactly. So I was part of the Scouts movement back then.
Oh, you were still in the Scouts movement at that time?
No, I'm not.
No, at that time.
At that time I was still.
Oh, okay, I didn't know that.
So I was still in the Scouts movement, and we got a message on the groups on WhatsApp if anyone would like to go down and try to help the people by cooking food, removing ashes, relocating individuals, and so on. So I directly got excited, packed my stuff, and went down. But I didn't know what would I see? You know, whatever you see on TV is just part of it. Yeah. You don't feel it as much as you are on field during the tragedy, during the explosion.
The impact is a lot different.
Absolutely. It's not only an impact. You will be traumatized. You will not understand what you're saying. Okay. You will act as an individual with emotions and without emotion at the same time. Mm-hmm. Everyone is shouting, screaming, crying. I walked between dead bodies. And
wow, you did?
Yeah, I did. And I've seen blood everywhere. I can still remember the smell of some buildings we've entered. It was like, okay, this is a nightmare for me.
Really?
I was like living history. Whatever I learned in a history book, whatever my parents told me about war, I'm living them now.
Right.
Just for me, this is impossible to live, you know? Mm-hmm. Up until the 7th day, I reached Karantina area, which is the nearest area from the explosion. It was the most affected one. Mm-hmm. And many individuals weren't going to Karantina and the first aid groups and so on because of the alerts down, because the majority is not Lebanese, the refugees down, so no security. The buildings were about to collapse if they were
the danger
and everything. Right. So the danger was really high. Okay. So I drove my car and I went alone to Karantina. Mm-hmm. When I reached Karantina, everything that I saw in all regions was unmatched to what I've seen in Karantina.
Really?
After 6-7 days of the explosion, I felt like the explosion happened right now.
Again.
So I saw three ladies sitting on their chairs on the street, and I was chatting with them. Why are they still down? And it was like they're Lebanese. They're in their 40s, 50s,
Oh, I see.
trying to secure whatever is left from their home,
Wow.
and there's no home. You know,
Okay.
they're telling me this was my room. I was born here. This is the kitchen. This is the living room, and so on. I was like, I'm just seeing ashes and ruins on the ground.
Wow.
And they tell me something, Marina, you should go and visit an old lady still living in this apartment. And they just point this apartment. I was like, is someone still living in this apartment with all the security alerts that this could collapse at any moment?
Yeah.
And after 7 days of the explosion, why no one relocated this individual?
Mhm.
And an old lady is still down.
Yeah.
So I took an architect hat.
Right.
and I
the
went-
hard hat, you mean?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I went inside this building. She lives on the first floor.
Wow.
The moment I had to enter Patricia to her home, I had two thoughts in mind. What if I enter and I find her dead body?
Yeah.
And what if I enter and she's still alive and she needs someone to help her?
Mm-hmm.
So by that time, it wasn't me that took the decision. I was led by God's grace, and I always said it because the courage a human being cannot eventually enter to the anonymous,
Yeah.
anonymous situation. And I'm 18-year-old,
Yeah.
so I don't know what to act and how to act.
Yeah.
But luckily, I entered, and she was in a very terrible medical condition.
Really?
Her color was pale. She's in her 70s, laying on a chair, no physical ability to move, trying to take a breath, and she
Wow.
was holding a ripped box.
A wet box?
A ripped box.
Oh.
As I just moved forward to her, I recognized that this box is a medication box. And how I knew this medication is the same medication my moms take.
Oh.
My mom is asthmatic, and I figured out that this patient is asthmatic. That's why
Right.
she is not able even to take a breath. Everything related to me, I rushed back, went to a pharmacy to try to get this medication, and the sudden shock, this medication is out of stock. This dosage is out of stock. So at that moment, I got into two coincidences. The first one, no one is targeting the need of the individuals down.
Mm-hmm.
Millions of donations, millions of people on the ground, but who is truly helping the individuals and knowing what is the need? People weren't only dying because of the explosion. People inside their homes were dying because of lack of medications and medical assistance.
Okay, let's just rewind for a second.
Sure.
There's lack of medication and medical assistance because we were also going through a financial and political crisis. Is that true?
No.
Oh.
It was the start of the economic crises and medical shortage.
Okay.
But during the explosion, millions of dollars were sent to nonprofits, to AIDS groups, to initiatives. But how
Okay.
are these nonprofits and groups targeting the need of the individuals in Beirut's area? So I didn't see really a crisis plan that is actually, targeting what this ex-individual living in this ex-building needs.
Which is
They were-
probably more than ex-individuals like
Definitely.
this. Yeah.
And everyone was giving food boxes. Okay?
Yeah.
It's great. But how are these people supposed to cook these food boxes? They don't have anything. They don't have ovens. So you're just receiving donations and buying stuff with these donations that are not in need.
Mm-hmm.
So this is was part like I wanted to revolt on this.
Mm-hmm.
No one is holding no one accountable. People acting on the streets randomly. So it was so chaotic, and even
Yeah.
people who weren't living inside Beirut were getting the donations.
So you were kind of like organizing or
Yeah.
strategizing what
Exactly.
really needs to be done.
Because I understood what's the need.
Yeah.
I understood the priority.
Okay.
Whenever you have a crisis, you have priority things.
Right.
Healthcare, and then everything follows.
Okay.
This is what I understood from this only one coincidence. I'm not someone in the medical field. I'm not someone in nonprofits. I'm not someone that assess needs. I'm no one. I'm just an individual that had this case in front of me, and I knew everything from it.
Mm-hmm.
So as I went to the pharmacy, I knew that there's a shortage. So I questioned myself, why is there a shortage of medications?
Okay.
I've never had in mind to ask my parents, how do they get their medications? How much do they pay? Because it's a very expensive med. So I went back home and I asked mom, what if this individual doesn't take her medication? She tells me that she will have a crise asthmatique when she will die because the oxygen levels will drop a lot.
Right.
So I was like, I need to do something. This medication is not available. What I can do is to actually give this lady a voice. So I posted the first time on my Instagram the story of this lady.
Oh, yeah? This
And
is
I
the part I
tagged-
didn't know about
Exactly.
you that you're telling me today. I don't know how I don't know this story.
So I tagged Dida's business, Danielle.
Yeah.
And that's how I actually know her.
And that's how I know you also,
Absolutely.
through her. Right.
Exactly.
So we're grateful to her.
She's a backbone in this journey. And she was the first individual to give the first box of medication to a first patient in my donation. So she actually calls me after 2 hours and telling me, Marina, I secured the bulk of this medication.
Wow.
You know, I was like, what? I don't know her, you know. I just mentioned her so she can, you know,
help.
She has a bigger audience. Someone might help.
Yeah.
Or at least I did my duty to give this lady the voice.
Yeah.
So I rushed back. I took the medications from her. And when I was driving to this lady's home, I understood something, that in health, we don't have the privilege of time. We don't have seconds, we don't have minutes, we don't have hours. We're fighting with milliseconds, you know?
Right.
Because a heartbeat cannot wait, a breath cannot wait, an individual cannot wait. So I was really afraid when I was driving, and I was praying in the same moment that I reached her home and she's still alive.
And
luckily, she was still alive. She was still fighting.
Is she still good today?
Yes. Thank God.
You
Thank
see
God
her
she's still-
sometimes?
Of course. She's the reason why my donation started. And she's the reason why now 20,000 individuals are saved. So
20,000 people's
20,000.
lives have been saved since you started this.
20,000.
At the time, it was an initiative,
Right.
and now it's a full-blown NGO, full-fledged NGO.
Right.
How does it feel?
It feels, you know, you can feel happy and you can feel joyful, but the happiness and joy and peace you get when doing a humanitarian, and not only humanitarian work, that you live a mission and you live for the mission, is something out of this world.
Yeah.
It's the truest happiness you can ever live. And no matter the obstacles, because we face obstacles by minutes.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I want
We
to ask
face
you about that.
challenges by minutes. So no matter all
Yeah.
this, whenever you see an individual's life is saved and you see them for 1-2 years and then they're achieving a great life just
Yeah.
because, you know, a box of
You were
medication
there.
or a treatment or a
Yeah.
surgery,
Yeah.
it means the world.
You know, we're understating the work and the energy that you put into all of this. Like you told the story about this old woman who started this whole thing, or it was the light that sparked in your head. But you work almost 24 hours at this. I saw you reach burnout a few times because it's tough. You were also studying your law degree at the same time. How did you do it? Because it's never ending, because there was a lack of medication, because people don't have money, they don't have access to their money. They were reaching out for help from everywhere. How were you able to do it?
So this is the hard question.
Yeah.
Because if I look back now to the 4 years and I see everything and I place them on a paper, I see it's impossible.
Yeah.
For me, it's impossible.
Because I knew you from the beginning.
Exactly.
1 month, right after
Right,
the old.
exactly. 1 month. So
Right
you've
after.
been through the journey.
Yeah.
3 months, 3 years and 11 months up until now. So it was so tough. I would admit it was the toughest period of my life. But at the same time, I'm beyond grateful and blessed for this period. It shaped me. It made me who I am now. It's made me so solid, so tough at the same time, so resilient, so passionate, a dreamer, a person that doesn't know boundaries. I just break all obstacles. Whenever I see an impossible thing, I turn it to possible. And, you know, faith led me towards the whole journey.
Inspired you.
Of course, because I couldn't do it alone.
Because the challenges were innumerable. And still. Because you always, whenever you make a step forward, something pushes you 10 steps back. Like we know between airport pickups at like midnight, at 1 a.m., the problems that come with it. This is nothing. I'm just saying, like, people who can't get funding for their surgeries, you help them get funding. Just so much stuff.
Yeah.
I guess it was your faith that kept you strong, the results of everything that you were doing.
Sure. And, you know, there's something that drives in you. You know, I say my donations runs in my veins. And this is why I never gave up on the mission. We faced COVID. We bought oxygen machines. I actually was down with the patients. I didn't fear from COVID, even though I was living with my family and my parents have medical conditions. I didn't fear it.
How many oxygen machines did you get? 7.
So we've raised around $7,000 and more with a fraction of 2 weeks to buy these machines. I took the healthcare knowledge needed and practiced with some nurses, some doctors to be able to know how to act with COVID patients.
Wow! So you're becoming a half healthcare practitioner now.
Kind of. I wish I entered med school, you know. Whenever I look back, and I'm grateful that I finished law school and I'm now entering officially the law field, and now I'm studying pharmacy at the same time.
Yeah, we have to mention that.
To fulfill the dream that I had since I was 11-year-old to be a surgeon.
Why didn't you go right away into surgery?
Mathematics.
Oh, okay.
This is the red flag for me.
Right.
So that's how I actually drove the mission towards being just a nonprofit. You can you can be in a nonprofit, a member of an NGO, be a volunteer with them, but it's different than whenever you live it and you make it part of your eventually daily life. I wake up for my donations now.
You have seen cases that are just like incredible. Like, I'm just going to we're not going to go into details, but you even saw a case of a child who's born without skin.
Yeah, epidermolysis bullosa.
Oh my God. You've seen like cases that are incredible and you've helped them. And how does it feel when you see all these dire cases?
You know, when I see the case, I feel extreme emotions. At the same time, I don't show anything because
you have to have a disconnection somewhere.
It's very hard.
Yeah,
it's absolutely very hard. And
it's hard. Sorry, because you have a good heart.
Yeah,
so it's hard. It's doubly hard.
You know, sometimes, well, most of the time I cry a bit, but I try to be as much as possible strong in front of them because they need someone to give them motivation, support, love, and just don't feel weak whenever you're with them because you're actually just seeing them for 30 minutes, 1 hour per week or per month. So they need this boost of motivation and of support. So I always try to, I'll cry afterwards whenever I'm at the office, whenever I'm alone. And this is the part that reflects on the individual himself, the psychological aspect and the mental health aspect that the individual passes through.
Mental health is just as important as physical health.
It is. Beyond important.
And you realized this probably even more after your experience.
I realized it after 2 years. Yeah. Whenever I lost a lot of lives. And this was, you know, I was thinking that I can save all lives. And it's absolutely not the case. People see my donations as a beam of hope. It is a beam of hope, but at the base and the structure, you can see we saw people that have been with them for 1-2 years and then they died. So it's very hard. It's very hard. You cannot imagine because the beneficiary for my donations is not a beneficiary. He's part of my family now. Yeah. So we treat every individual as part of the family. We know their stories. We know everything about them. They call us whenever they need something. Yeah. So we live with them. Yeah. It's very hard to lose life.
Well, I think the number you saved overcomes the number that has not been able to be saved.
But still, you can feel bad a bit.
Yeah, of course.
You feel so sad.
Yeah,
and the moment where I faced burnout was the moment where I lost the husband of our med drive organizer in France. It was the extreme shock for me.
What happened to him?
He had cancer and complications and he died. Yeah. It was the moment where I was doing the solar panel backpack for kids. At the same day I committed to the kids, at the same day I got the news that he died. I went down on field. It was the only time I couldn't genuinely smile to the kids. But you know what helped me heal? Are the hugs of these tiny
they saw that you weren't feeling well, and so they
and just without even them feeling with me because I don't expose this. Whenever I'm on field, they should have the right, you know, to give them the full happiness they have and they need with this 10 minutes visit. But seeing the backpack and the technology inside it, they were so happy that they're going to school with everything. So they were hugging me, and seeing them smile, I just healed a bit. But it took time, and with every patient that we lose, because we lose patients every 2 weeks, every month, so it's very hard. And it's very hard whenever we don't know that this patient died because they have no one. and I go on field.
And then
And
suddenly.
And I have the box of medications with me. And then I know that this patient passed away.
Wow. It's so sad that they were alone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we have a lot of patients, a lot of people living alone. So this is the toughest, I would say, because I'm going okay, and it's an opportunity to actually save more lives and to spend time with them, and then it's all gone. I couldn't even say bye to them. So this is really hard. I couldn't talk to them and see them for the last time.
Well, at least you have the balance of those that you saved. And
Definitely. And whenever I see someone that we saved, I just, it reboosts me.
Yeah, it gives
gives
you
me
the
more hope that,
Yeah.
okay, we should continue no matter what.
You're being recognized internationally. You've won awards.
Yeah.
And you're also collaborating with different, I don't know, what do you call them?
Companies sharing the same values.
Okay, so companies sharing the same values. And this is all very recent also. That's why I said this is like top. This is like you're collaborating. This is very interesting.
Yeah.
The one with the telehealth.
Yeah, sure. So
Explain
first,
this one, please.
I met Alex, the co-founder of IGEA and the CEO at HIMSS.
In the US.
States, yeah.
This is when you were accepting an award.
I was awarded as the HIMSS 24 Changemaker in Health Award after the voting that went globally.
Internationally,
yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
So I met Alex there, and while we were talking, we really saw that whatever he is doing and whatever I'm doing can complement each other's work. So, and we share a lot of common values. So I felt like, okay, there's someone in this world really working for the same mission in different aspect in the health tech. And I need technology in my donations. And in every sector, you need technology now to be able to advance more and to help more.
I'm amazed how much you're focusing on technology, because I never would have thought about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it would save lives.
Yeah.
Imagine it or not. IGEA is a health tech company, AI Web3 company. So in a nutshell, the partnership will be Med Donations partnering with IGEA, and this is what we launched in Riyadh in the fifth MENA telehealth event. IGEA will give access to Med Donations patients, which are 20,000 plus individuals, the application for free. It's an application which you can take your vital signs while you're sitting at your home, all your vital signs. You'll be connected with doctors, so we will have telemedicine, all consultations, cardio, dermato, gyneco, and everything. You will have AI plugins inside the application. If you have a lab test, you will have AI analyzer to analyze it, and so on. So it's an open infrastructure platform that gives the opportunity to any company around the globe, any technology, to integrate inside it.
This is stuff that we hear about that we haven't even applied to our lives.
Yes, and this will be the first virtual clinic, I would say, and hopefully in the future virtual hospital to be hosted inside Lebanon.
Wow,
so
that's amazing. All for the beneficiaries of Med Donations.
Exactly. For free. It will be accessed for individuals. This is something else, but for Med Donations, the partnership is for free. They will access it all for free. And plus, it's human-centric. So by this, I would say it empowers the individual by the ownership of their own data. So you are the owner of your own data. It's not the healthcare system. It's not the hospital. It's not the healthcare professional. It's you that give consent to every individual, every entity that needs access to any data. And you can remove the consent whenever you want.
That's amazing.
So that's really amazing.
That's amazing from the gentleman also, that they created this kind of app.
Yes, it's life-saving.
Because we're always so worried about our information out there, our data and everything, that it might be used.
It's so valuable. Your data is worth of millions, and they're using it without your consent. So what if you can actually benefit from your data?
Yeah, because they can, I don't want to say they sell it, but they can give permission.
Monetize it, exactly.
Monetize it, that's the right word,
by using their own data. So these vulnerable individuals can make money out of it in some ways, and will be, at the same time, will have access to everything. At the same time, they know that they are the owners of their own data. It's no one else prisoning them by accessing their own data, you know? And what is even the second partnership that we've launched with a Lebanese company. It was the first partnership I launched with a Lebanese company. It's Abaji. OCP, they will, they will sponsor for a 1 year long 65 individuals fully with their medication.
That's amazing.
It's amazing. And what is even more amazing is the humanism behind the leadership of Abaji I didn't saw with most of the companies that I was in touch with. Lebanon and outside Lebanon. And the fact that they're not doing it for media and for marketing, the values that we share, and the responsibility and the respect they have for the individual that they see.
That's so admirable.
And that I saw during Christmas when we had the campaign together on field. The way that they act, the way that they talk, the way that they interact with the individual is something else, and is the dream partnership for me is that one. So these two partnerships were like a boost for my donations. I wanted them to happen.
That's amazing. This happened just like 2 weeks before our episode. That's incredible.
1 week ago we had to launch it, and it was really so fast, and with no big plans and everything. It's just happened that way.
How do you see the future? Can I give you an idea of how I see it when I'm hearing you talk? Because this is the first time I was thinking of it. I'm seeing you like head of a hospital or building your own hospital. I'm seeing you as Minister of Health. I don't know. I really see you like it was something huge later on.
When I say it, some people laugh, but I dream to build the new Amsterdam. Have you ever watched it?
Yeah, that was really nice. They haven't posted a new season for a long time.
I'm sad about it. It's the only series that I've watched.
Really?
So I sacrificed some time to watch it because I love it.
Yeah, because you don't have time to do anything.
Definitely, not even series and such stuff. But the meanings that this series holds and the mission of giving free healthcare for all is my mission. Right. And is my utmost, I want to place it in bold, free healthcare. Right. Not even you pay 1 LBP. I don't believe in it. You should access healthcare for free. From consultation to medical assistance, to medications, to surgeries, to treatments, everything for free. The government should pay for it, not you. So what I would dream of the future is a free healthcare system. And it's
That's a big dream.
To actually now make it. But small steps can make it possible.
Yeah, definitely.
With this virtual clinic, at least I would say that we're building a virtual clinic for free to these individuals that are in need of.
Yeah.
And this clinic can eventually enhance to a virtual hospital. And from this virtual hospital, if God's plan is to build a hospital, then we will build a hospital.
So like a new Beirut instead of New Amsterdam?
Well, maybe.
Maybe, right?
Maybe, yeah.
I just want to say in parentheses is that you're putting very interesting and unique reels about health on your account.
Yeah.
Very unique topics.
It's part of the awareness. I'm seeing a lot of lack of awareness. And it's not only, giving awareness about cancer, about diseases, about medication and so on. It's giving awareness about topics that are misunderstood topics inside the community.
Never spoken of.
Exactly. And it leads to diseases and to illnesses. Yeah. So it's like, it's a controversial...
Right when I was in your office, and this is one of the lives that Marina has saved from the Beirut port explosion, and she just recovered just like now a couple months ago.
And she graduated.
And she graduated. Can we get her a chair or is there a chair somewhere? Namel pause for a second to get her a chair.
No way.
So, so we just paused a little bit so that we can get a chair for Helena. Marina found Helena after the Beirut port explosion and a condition. I don't know, how do you want to...
From a text message.
Oh, from a text message?
Yeah, I received a text message on a WhatsApp group. And I usually do not read the WhatsApp groups. You know? They send per day, like thousands of cases.
Yeah, of course.
And the message of Helena, I read, LAD in Jatewe, her age was 18-year-old, is in need of direct health support, and no one is helping her. And this message was kept unread on my chat box for like 6-8 hours, I would say, and no one replied afterwards. So, and I was, scrolling, and I reread it again. And there was a contact number. I called this contact number. It was Père Elario, right? I asked him, okay, if you're helping, you know, I really respect this, but I prefer to be in contact with the parents directly.
Right.
That's how actually I do it.
Yeah. To
And
make sure everything's clean and on
absolutely.
the air. Right.
So he gave me the contact number of her mother.
Mm-hmm.
I called her mother and directly told her, okay, I'm going down to Jatewe. So I went down and I saw Helena for the first time.
Yeah. Helena looks like amazing now with the way you saw her.
She's extraordinary. Absolutely
definitely.
Amazing. Her energy, everything. But she's still the same Helena I saw.
Yeah.
You know, she haven't changed. The circumstances just made her a lot stronger.
Mm-hmm. But explain what condition she was in.
Okay, so I saw her in a... Okay, when I saw Helena, I first got shocked. Because I saw someone the same age as me, with no guilt, sitting at her home.
Oh, you were at home when you saw her? Oh, right, because she didn't have the money for the surgery.
And she tells me the story. As she's telling me her story, how everything happened, I was like, okay, this is so criminal. That an individual living at their home got exploded, and now her life turned 180 degree, and she doesn't know if tomorrow is definite for her. If she didn't have the money, and if she will not have the money, then what will happen?
Yeah,
you know,
because people didn't have access to their savings.
Yes, it was the period of the economic crisis.
Yeah,
and it was, for me, it was like, and I cannot offer anything. Right. I felt that at that moment,
her brain was. She
needed a prosthesis, right? Because
they removed the bones the day of the...
Exactly. And she got injured inside her head.
Yeah.
So she had...
Besides other parts of her body.
Yes.
Yeah, but the most critical one was her head injury.
Of course, her brain, yeah.
So... And she's up until now still doing physio for her leg and so on.
Yeah.
So
you're still doing physio for your leg. Okay.
So after 4 years, she's a miracle survivor.
Yeah, she's a superhero.
Superhero.
Yeah.
And the case of Helena, what's shocking about it, when I posted it on Instagram, I posted her mom talking because I couldn't really describe the case properly. And people will know that it's legit because I want everything to be legit. And people know who is Helena, the family members and so on. So we've gathered in 1 week and a half the full amount. So
for her surgery.
$7,000 for Elena's surgery. And I went back, I remember her mother did.
And you were an unknown at the time.
Yeah.
Yes.
No one knew about
like miracles like coming from left and right.
We've covered a lot of treatments and surgeries and no one knew about us. Just posting Instagram stories, people sharing them, and people from 12 countries contributed to Elena's surgery.
12 countries, wow.
Individuals living in 12 countries contributed for the surgery.
Yeah.
And now, whenever I share a post about Helena, you cannot imagine my DMs because they feel so happy. They're seeing this miracle survivor, how she's still achieving. She's still moving all obstacles and all barriers, no matter everything. She's a living proof that no matter the things that happen with you, you die, you live twice, and you come back stronger twice, and even times thousands. So I tell Helena always, and I tell you here, that you are my inspiration. Because when I see Helena, she inspires me that whatever we see as small obstacles and small fears and small things, I believe that with one act you can redraw a life, and not only save a life, give a hope and give a support and give a chance for this life to keep on moving forward and to live more and to achieve more. And now with her pharmacy degree. Yeah, she just graduated. Congratulations once, and I hope with many more, just helping us with medications now. Yeah. So see how the cycle of life works. You give and you receive. You receive and you give times thousands more. Yeah. So she was saved once, and now she's saving hundreds and thousands of lives. Yeah. So this is the greatness of life. And when I see her, I see God is great.
How do you feel, Helena?
I don't know how to describe it. Yeah. Because at that time we didn't believe. Yeah. When she came, because it was after several months we shared the story and the needs, and no one answered. So how in just 1 week she brought everything, and my mother didn't believe first. She told me, we will wait and see when we see.
Yeah, and already after 1 week.
Yes. in just 1 week.
Yeah, a miracle.
Yeah, I remember coming back to her home, holding the money and counting the money, and the face of her
Yeah,
mom
because
and
everything
dad.
was cash.
Yeah, and the face of her mom and dad was like, they're not believing that they actually secured the money.
Yes.
I was like, why? And still me, if I look back, it was a big amount, and it is a big. It's not $700 or it's $7,000
because everybody was suffering at the time.
Everyone
Also,
was suffering, and too many cases.
Yeah.
And up until now, you can see too many cases, too much need. But there is something special, and up until now, I don't know what is. But I know that everything is special about the cases and about this journey. Because whenever we need something, or even whenever we need medication for someone, the second day or even after a week, the medication gets there.
Yeah, you find a way to get it. Yeah.
I don't know how.
It's your essence and your energy that is bringing it.
I guess so. And the pure mission that every individual holds for my donations. So it's not like a mission. It's not a non-profit. For me, I wouldn't call it a non-profit. It's only for the legal things. It's a community, a movement that feels together. Even if you're living outside Lebanon and the 65 countries that we have drives in, the individuals do feel, I don't know how,
there's a lot of good people out there.
Yeah,
there's
they
a
do
lot.
feel. So they share the same thing. They root for the same cause. They work day and night effortlessly and relentlessly to gather medications and to give back the medications and to save lives. So it's truly genuine.
Well, your story is truly extraordinary. Your story,
extraordinary.
Yeah, it's really because her recovery is also extraordinary, not just after the surgery, but that deserves an episode all on its own. And I just have to thank you both for coming, Marina. Thank you so much. I just have one more question.
I want to thank you.
Wait, I have one more question. This one's important. What makes the ordinary extraordinary?
I believe in something that every individual is extraordinary. But you need to see the extraordinary in every ordinary individual. It's just the fact that they dare to do something makes them extraordinary.
Right.
And cross the fear of, it could be a childhood fear. They box themselves in a way that they're not allowing themselves to see the future ahead. But whenever they step this mini step, I would say, and dare to think outside the box, dare to cross their barriers, dare to just live it and dream and succeed, even if they fail, they're extraordinary.
Yeah, they tried.
They tried.
Yeah.
So in every individual I see, now it's more than 2,500 donors, 20,000 beneficiaries, they're extraordinary. And you learn from them. You can learn from every individual. I learn daily from Helena.
As I learn from.
I learn from
you.
Oh my goodness.
So every individual that you meet, we actually learn from every individual and maybe small things. But this adds up. And if you see it, if you zoom it, we're all extraordinaries.
If anybody wants to get in touch with you or help Med Donations,
we're available on all platforms. Med Donations, MED, it's one D, ONATIONS.
I'll put in the
on Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, and our number on our website. So we're available all over.
There's no excuse. There's always a way to get in touch.
If you want to help, if you want to be with us on field, if you want to start a drive, if you want to be, if you're a healthcare professional, you want to be on board, if you have any idea. Anything can help in anything.
Anything is game.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Marina, so much for everything that you do, for being you. Thank you, Helena.
Thanks
also,
thanks to you. You made it so special. I have to admit this. I'm happy. The most special and unique episode I've ever made.
We have a special relationship.
We do.
Yeah,
and
I'm grateful for it.
I'm grateful for it.
Thank you, Marina, so much.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you, everybody.